If you long for music that really sounds like it's been inspired by retro-styled video game music, then you've got to listen to this. The DESKPOP label is a fun one, looking for experimental but bouncy and bright electronic music to put on display, almost like, you know, PC music or maybe Igloo Ghost even, if you want some sort of idea of what the music sounds like aesthetically, I guess. I mean, at the end of the day, they are all different artists, all different labels, but I guess more in terms of the bright aesthetics that they go for. There certainly are similarities to be found there. And here is the debut EP from Dynastic. It really reminds me of the soundtrack right out of its Sega Genesis game. And there's a lot of, I guess, instrumentation or just timbres on this EP that sound like MIDI file instruments. And usually MIDI instruments can sound quite flat and lifeless, but on this EP in particular, it actually really complements the sort of sound and aesthetic that Dynastic is going for, which I think is pretty cool. The first track, Space Zone, is probably the most diverse track on here, with a waltzy 3/4 time signature, some really cool, enchanting, cartoony vocals, some keyboard synths, piano, a chiptune melody, trumpets, and even a ripping guitar solo at the end. It does sound quite waltzy and quite smooth at first, but everything going over the top is anything but smooth. It's actually jumping between a lot of different sounds and styles over its runtime. And then the next 4 tracks on the Space Summer EP, although the next 4 tracks on the Space Summer EP are significantly more influenced by EDM and future bass, kind of having some wonky, off-kilter rhythms that can really sound cool. And also these tracks contain the same instrumental palette with kind of MIDI synths and tones, but with noticeable drops that you might expect from a modern era EDM song. Dynastic style is so squeaky and so shining bright and so bubblegum popping that it actually adds a lot of character to the music. I love how bouncy the track eefreef is. And that track even incorporates like video game sound effects like cat noises and the coin sound effect from Mario. Towards the end of the 4th track, Jinzang, I also liked how that one incorporated some break beats towards the end with also quite a speedy tempo. There was definitely a drum and bass influence on there as well. And Summer Zone is a cool track too, that closes off the EP, with some obvious summer vibes reminding me of maybe a Sonic the Hedgehog zone, but also the second half kind of slows things down, and actually sounds like a homage to Vaporwave too. Even though I liked the sound that Dynastic was going for, not every track on the EP was fulfilling all the way through. I mean, some tracks fall a little flat, or they might feel a little thin, like Nunu the Boy, which has some bare instrumental blurts and splatters that feel a little too bare, and also feel a little thin against the trap percussion, which is a shame because the beat itself is killer. I just wish there was a little more flesh to that track, especially at the 1:46 mark where there's this buzzing, low brooding bass layer that sounds very ear-grating, combined with all the high-pitched timbres and synths kind of skeeting over the top of it. Did I just use skeeting in a sentence? And while I did compliment that homage to Vaporwave at the end of Summer Zone, I kind of wish it didn't end on such a slow moment because the upbeat first half was so exciting and so just very cool to listen to. I guess maybe towards the end it could have kind of picked things up once more, even if it was just for another 30 seconds or so. I just feel like ending the EP on an energetic note would have been a little more fitting. Although that's really just down to my personal tastes. And not every artist kind of has to, you know, adjust their music for one person's particular taste. But this is kind of just what I might have hoped for, or what I might have done. I still think this EP is cool. I still think this EP is interesting, fun, playful, quite cute. I'm gonna give this EP a 7 out of 10. Go check it out if you want some video game influenced, inspired kind of music. It's pretty cool.